I'm about to sew a fun collar onto this shirt in case you want to join me. If you followed along for the sewing of those pants that I'm actually basing this blouse off of, you will maybe remember me making this piece of fabric and then never actually using it because it was too bulky for the pants. I wanted to use parts of this fabric for the collar, so what I did is I cut out a collar shaped piece, but because I had used black stitching, I wanted to cover that up. I used a band of bias tape, which is pink and matches the shirt fabric. To cover up that seam, I have another collar. This is going to be the bottom side of the collar. It's going to be in the floral print. And then I have two collar stand pieces, one with interfacing on it and one without. First, I'm going to stitch the two collar pieces right sides together, stitching this edge 1 centimeter away from the edge. I actually want this to be rounded. The pattern was pointy, so I cut it out like this, but I'm going to stitch in more of a curve and then just cut that off. I trimmed the seam allowance, flipped it right side out, top stitched. Because all of the scattering, this is quite stiff, which is why I didn't add any interfacing to this collar this time around. A collar stay would have made sense. Honestly, I just forgot to cut out another pattern piece of the collar to be able to sew the channel. Notice too late, so I'm going to leave it out for this project, but I think with the stiffness of this fabric, it should be fine. Now I'm going to sew the collars in between the two collar stand pieces, making sure that the top end of the collar stand pieces is pinned to the collar and the side with the interfacing goes with the ruffled pretty side of the collar. This is what the collar looks like now. If I had my iron set up, I would iron this flat, but I currently don't, so I'm just going to go without. I'm now going to stitch this collar stand, the one that's on the outside of the collar, to the inside neck hole of the shirt, so the left side of the fabric, making sure that all of my notches line up. And now to finish it all off, this is the outside of the shirt right now. I'm going to fold this down, fold in the seam allowance, and then just top stitch once around the entire edge of the collar stand, also this top edge.